Hey, this is JC and welcome to Small Brick City, where we want to help you build a Lego city regardless of the space you have. In this short video, I'm going to give an update and the technique I'm using to create this uneven cobblestone for my Cathedral MOC. Previously, you might have seen the MOC and the entire area over here was completely tiled with light grey tiles, and I even had some black tiles over on the right. But what I've done is to completely change that around, and I have decided to make everything cobblestone. And just to give you a look at what I have over here, this is what I've done so far. As you can see, there's cobblestone over here, all the way over here, and there's also going to be cobblestone over here and on the other side. I'm not sure if it comes out on the video, but you can see that the cobblestone over here that you're seeing right now seems very flat and uniform. But if you look at the cobblestone on this side, it is actually more layered. And the reason is because I have put different plates to create that effect. So let me just split this up and you might be able to see that. You can see there's plate over here, and if I have to break this apart, just to show you this part of the plate, I think you'll be able to see that as well. So what I've done is I've taken different size plates in dark gray and light gray and created different levels throughout, so the cobblestone is really uneven. And then what I've done is just to do it throughout to create that very nice uneven effect. I think that looks much better, and I'm going to do that for this side over here as well. So this is completely flat. In fact, you can still see I've got some gray tiles over here, so I'm going to pull that all up, and I'm going to take a collection of different plates such as this plate over here. I've got a bunch of larger plates over here, smaller plates over here, so I've got a whole bunch of different plates that I'm going to use to lay the ground over here just to create some unevenness. And then I'm also going to extend it to the back of the church, so I'll flip the church around later on to do that. I'm also thinking about moving this archway that I created. So this is supposed to be like a ruins archway, but it does kind of block the main part. So what I'm thinking of doing is to pop this off like that, and I'm thinking of putting it somewhere here. So if I were to put everything back, it'll probably rest somewhere here, just like that. So the idea is that it becomes some kind of a entranceway to the main area over here, because in the context of my layout, this road over here is the main street, and tourists will actually walk up the street to get to the cathedral, and then they can be greeted by this archway that you can see over here. So that might actually look quite nice. And when they come over here through the archway, this is actually Brick Point, which will look over to my beach over on this side over here, or they can enter the memorial park over there and finally get into the cathedral itself, or they can swing round the cathedral to come to the fountain and go into the graveyard directly. So this is a whole big tourist destination, so obviously different ways to get into it and many different things to see. So what I'm going to do now is to work on this area over here. I'm going to take out all the different tiles, including the round tiles here, add in the plates, and then put back the round tiles to create that uneven cobblestone effect. And then I'm also going to move this archway over here as well. So let's see how that goes. So this is what I've done so far. As you can see, I've pulled out a bunch of different round tiles and I've put in these plates, as you can see. And so it's an odd shape. Of course, I also wanted to match the different sides of the other plate as well, so that there is some consistency. And this part is actually for the street lamp, and I also have studs for these benches, which will be placed over here just like that. So what I need to do now is to take all the round tiles and to cover up this entire area, and then we'll move on to replacing that gateway. So here we have the finished tiling for brick point. I put the benches back as well, and as you can see, I've also placed that ruined gateway right over there. I think that looks pretty good, and if you line everything up, as you can see, that makes perfect sense, I think. And that looks really rich in terms of how this has all come about, as you can see. And if we just take it all the way from here, there's nice continuity, and just looks so rich in texture, especially for what we're trying to achieve in terms of a historical tourist spot. So what I'm going to do now is to flip this over, at least rotate it 180 degrees, and I'll see what I can do for the other side of the cathedral. I do hope I've got enough of these round tiles to cover up the area, because that's the thing with landscaping, especially with a large area like that. Even though, well, large is relative, but to me this is quite a large surface to cover with all these small 1 stud wide round tiles. So it does take more tiles than you might expect, and I think I've over probably 2,000 tiles here already, even though it might not seem the case. So let's turn this around and work on the other side. Here we are on the other side of the church. I have to take out all these tiles over here, and I'm going to add in some plates to create that uneven surface, and then I'm going to use the rest of the round tiles to try to cover it up. I've got some of these large 2x2 tiles, and that's really just so that I don't have to use so many of the small tiles. So let's get started. So here we have completed this side over here, and I've added texture with the different levels with the plate, and then just all kinds of different stones, and I think that works very well. There is actually one more side which I do need to cover, and that's the adjoining side from this side of the town park. So actually this part would measure up with this part over here. So I'm just going to cover these plates here with some of these round tiles, and I'll put everything back together, and I think we'll be ready to go. So here we have the completed landscape around the cathedral for the uneven cobblestone pathway, all the way from the main street over here through the ruins gateway to Brick Point and all over the church, including the back. So I'm pretty happy with how this turned out, and I do hope to be able to place this into my brick beach and give you an update on how I'm going to integrate minifigs and various elements into this display. You can see I've already put my antique shop over here. That's the souvenir store for the cathedral. After all, it is a tourist attraction. So stay tuned for that. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell. Thanks for watching. Check out these 2 videos before you go.